Yes, Your Majesty, I would.
Serangus, kiss and business with this gentleman before we can proceed. The member of the Pelican would speak for him.
I, Carolyn J. would claim that honor. Federach first came to our lands a mere stripling youth to study in our great universities. He haunted the list fields and tourney yards to learn the deeds of arms. Even if it meant carrying his armor on his back 20 miles afoot in the snow to make it to practice. And you know well the single-mindedness that it takes to achieve excellence in arms. But it has never, ever been only about himself. He was always the one who had a spare piece of armor in his bag, a helmet he didn't need anymore, a sword to lend. He was someone who chivied the less devoted to come to practice, to show up, to fight. He was someone who gave the most precious gift of all, which is his time, which he spent with newbies. He treated any person who came wanting to learn to fight the same as he would treat a great knight or anyone else. He has been my champion on several occasions, and he has always been most faithful in his duty, serving me, the barony, the kingdom, and our army. The scholars tell us that our word knoit comes from a root that means one who serves. And I would tell you that you have no better servant in this kingdom, and that Federach has always had the heart of a knight. I thank you.
Now, a member of the Order of the Laurel who will speak for this candidate.
Your Majesties, I would speak for this man.
I am Aquil of Darkstead Wood, Baron of your court, and Master of the Laurel. Your Majesties, I have known Federach since his first days in the society, and he is a worthy man. His skill at arms is great, indeed, surpassed only by his patience in teaching these arts to others. First on the field, last to leave. He served his barony and his kingdom. His strength is not only in his prowess of arms, but in his honor. He is just and good. His humility is an example for us all. Your Majesty, I'm proud to say that this man is a peer of the kingdom and worthy of elevation to knighthood. So say I.
Is there a lady in the rose that would speak on his behalf? Settle down, everybody. We'll do it almost for a while.
Long run.
Your dreams are not.
It's going to be a long ride.
Face the crowd. In every age and time, Allah chooses one member of the human race, and having endowed him with goodly and kingly virtue, entrusts him with the interests of the world and well-being of his servants. He charges that person to close the doors of corruption, confusion, and discord, and he imparts to him such dignity and majesty in the eyes and hearts of men that under his just rule they may live their lives in constant security and ever wish for his reign to continue. Since the decree of Allah was such that this should be an era by which bygone ages are dated, and the standard by which the deeds of former kings are judged, whereby he might bestow on his creatures a felicity granted to none before him, he caused the master of the world, Darius Aurelius Serpentius, the mightiest king of kings, to come forth from two noble lines whose houses were cradles of royalty and nobility, and had been formed from generation to generation as far back as the great Abraham. He furnished him with such powers and merit, such as had been lacking in the princes of the known world, and endowed him with all that is needful for a king, such as a comely appearance, knightly disposition, integrity, manliness, bravery, knowledge, skill in the use of various kinds of arms, and accomplishment in several arts, pity and mercy upon us all, strictness in the performance of vows and promises, and the practice of virtuous deeds, such as patronizing men of learning and wisdom, giving regular alms, doing good to the poor, being kind to subordinates and servants, and relieving the people of oppressors. Shah Darius, provider of daily food for his servants, the knower of the hidden and the open, the pardoner of sins, advocate for his people, glorifier of the world, and commander of the faithful, issued a sublime imperial command to his servants, and to several others, instructing each one of them his thoughts to the condition of the country, and to consider whether there is, in our age and time, anything out of order, either in the officers, the peers, the royal court, or populace, anything whose principles are not being observed by him or are unknown to him, whether there are any functions which kings before him have performed and he is not fulfilling. Darius further asked his councils to consider what have been the laws and customs of kings and kingship followed in past time by the kings of the East, make a digest of them and present to them for his judgment. He shall then reflect upon them and give orders that hereafter affairs worldly should proceed according with their proper rules. What is remedial, he shall remedy. He shall see that every duty is discharged correctly and according to what is right and just, and that all wrong practice is discontinued. For since Darius' consummate grace with the kingship of the world and the subjugation of his enemies completed, henceforth nothing should occur in his kingdom that is deficient or disordered or contrary to all that is right. Darius rightly believes that this will open the path to the way of right conduct, and the path of good government will be open to him. The rules for the management of the court, the audience hall, the officers, the royal palace, and the parade ground, and the methods of administering the taxes, transacting business, and settling the affairs of the people and his army will be clear to him. And nothing in the whole realm, whether great or small, far or near, will remain concealed. The wisdom of the master of the world is like a taper from which many lamps have been lighted. By its light, men find their way and emerge from darkness. Darius has no need of any counselor or guide. Nevertheless, he is not without care, who perhaps wishes to test his minor servants and assess their intelligence and wisdom. So when he commanded his humble servants to ponder this request, his order of the chivalry stepped forward to present Lord Federach as worthy of being included as their equal. It has always been the custom of enlightened monarchs to recognize those who are skilled in affairs and tried in battle, giving each position and rank, and whenever any matter important for the welfare and prosperity of the state required to be executed, such as promotion, dismissal, erecting lofty buildings, arranging an alliance, getting information about a foreign king, inquiring into religious affairs and such like, they discuss it thoroughly with men of wisdom and worldly experience. On the other hand, whenever an enemy appeared or battle threatened, they took counsel with men accomplished in warfare and skilled in such arts. With the result, the business was accomplished successfully. If war broke out, they dispatched to the front a man who had fought numerous battles, broken enemy ranks, captured forts, and gained renown in the world for valor. Federach is one such man. He has been entrusted with the safety of queens and granted the confidence of kings. The order of the chivalry has attested to his valor, skill, grace, knowledge, and wisdom. When a man has shown merit and skill in public life, the king bestows upon him the honor of a title suitable to his rank. In order to distinguish from him, his fellow men exalt him above them. Today, I, along with these worthies, would ask Shah Darius to add the title of Knight of the Society to Federach Elevation name, so all will know his value to his king and his kingdom.
Twice she said.